Okay, well, the third one we know is Mosley's, but we don't have a print of
Right.
Mosley's.
That's right. Do we need a Mosley print?
We don't have Mosley on here anyway.
No, Mosley we have never been able to get a print from.
Okay.
And that's why it's like, what a pleasant sound. Yeah, sounds like fingernails scratching on a chalkboard. So, Magi.
Oops.
Well, if the secret brotherhood exists, they're no doubt in Rennes-le-Chateau this week. Everybody else is.
That's what I think Baza is. I think he's Magi. The legendary, you'd have to read it. I can't hardly read it from this distance because the black on the white is awful.
That's white on black. The legendary Magi of New Testament fame has been a subject of considerable occult debate. The Bible records them as Mesopotamian wise men, astrology-driven and ritual, and certainly not of Jewish origin. But relatively little actual historical data has been discovered about this group. The reference to their being wise men implying some kind of hidden knowledge in their powers of divination, both with the astrological charts and with their pre-recognition of King Herod's murderous plans, seems to indicate a mystical order of some sort. Recent archaeological and sociological delvings to Mesopotamian history has uncovered a group called the Secret Brotherhood, which many have believed still exists today. This group is allegedly ancient with ties to the Mesopotamian priesthood and even beyond the veiled mist of time. Whether or not the Magi are one of the same with the Secret Brotherhood, they're fascinating for being one of the few non-Jewish religious groups to be shown in a positive light in the Hebrew Bible. Perhaps in this because the Magi not only recognize and revere the house of David infant Jesus, but appear to verify his divinity by means of astrological signs and omens.
So they saw the Star of Bethlehem, or they saw the Orius, or Sirius, whatever, and when Orion met with Saturn and Jupiter and made the brightest star in the sky, and they followed that star to Bethlehem. So it makes perfect sense. Now, what's the other note that we found?
Osiris and bloodlines.
Osiris
So
was
there's
part
that.
of the Star of Bethlehem. And it looks like it's about to, or just did, go into the same configuration again.
Oh, okay.
Around
Well, I mean,
2,000
said that's
years.
why they have the baby. Perhaps they think because the baby is a descendant of Jesus Christ. I don't know. But, what else? Did we find anything else? Well, that when we did Bloodline last time, it took us there into the same thing. It took us all about Osiris. It's not a coincidence that there are all these players of this occult stuff that are lined up, and maybe this event is getting ready to happen and not happened yet. I don't know. I was thinking that there was also in the main menu, there was and I am not really good at the computer stuff as Chad. The notes that we found, did we scan those notes in, Chad? The ones that we found at the sites? I don't even know how to add a file, to tell you the truth. Okay, add data. Where are these things? Right here. Okay, so add that into
I
Sydney.
can't scan that into
Okay,
Sydney.
you don't want to scan that into Sydney.
Who are the Magi? The ones who wove the vine in the Pharaoh's days weave it still. The ones who would steal the sacred wine long ago seek it still.
And then she said something about vampires. When she saw this part, she said something about vampires.
The ones who wove the vine in the Pharaoh's days weave it still. The ones who would steal the sacred wine long ago seek it still.
Unless it's the other note.
Where did the bloodline of the pharaohs go? Look to he who is legendary for his wisdom to find the answer.
Where did the bloodline of the pharaohs go? Well, I think in that one they were talking about Osiris. And honestly, I don't know. Can I just exit and get back into Sydney? I don't know. Okay, so we couldn't input those 3 notes we found. I was hoping we could analyze them or something like that, but we couldn't. Could we fingerprint them?
Which things?
Those 3 notes.
Oh.
Where did the bloodline of the pharaohs go? Look to he who is legendary for his wisdom to find the
Osiris,
answer.
right?
No, I don't see any sign of Prince.
They wore gloves to deliver the notes.
No, I don't see any sign
Or
of
he
Prince.
without fingerprints.
No, I don't see any sign of Prince.
Well, who didn't have fingerprints? Buccelli?
Baza.
No, Baza.
Where did the bloodline of the pharaohs go? Look to he.
Baza didn't
How
have
bizarre. I
fingerprints.
mean, who would leave such a thing? And why?
The only thing I can think of
Who's
is
leaving these things?
Baza is Magi.
Who are the Magi? The ones who wove the vine in the
This one I
pharaohs
don't
days
understand. She's
weave it
likened this
still.
one to the vampires.
The ones who would steal the sacred wine long ago seek it still.
Okay.
At the window of the ruined house, I looked across the trees denuded by autumn. Close to me, a presence, its feet in the water, like one who has just received the mark of baptism.
Oh, yeah, we were
I
going
recalled
to
the
Lord to
inscription,
do-
et in Arcadia ego, blank, blank, blank.
He is dead.
Through some selfish inspiration, I found the missing 3. The dust settled, and I saw at last. Curses, I know the truth. He is there, dead. The broken bread lies forgotten beneath the altar. Et in Arcadia ego, blank, blank, blank. It implies there's a missing word, a word with 3 letters, maybe?
Et in Arcadia. While in Arcadia, 3 letters. Ran? I am. That's not 3 letters.
It's 3 letters. Oh, 4.
No, the I was already in it. So wouldn't it be I something? That's why I was like, I ran, I...
Space and. Unless there's
3 letters. Et while in Arcadia, I
scanning the sum note Grace wrote down while she was on the tour.
Some note. What's a sum note?
It's,
Oh,
I wrote these coordinates down from the map in Sydney. I should be able to locate any point on this map out in the valley by using these numbers and the coordinate fixing device I got from Mosley. I can't scan that into Sydney.
unless we missed something.
I can't scan that into Sydney. I can't scan that into Sydney. I can't scan that into Sydney. I can't scan that into Sydney.
What was the sum? What do you mean, sum? Was that
Where
the
was
line?
Osiris when the star shone over Bethlehem?
Go to add data and scan in the sum note that Grace wrote down while she was on the tour. So yes, type. Well, okay. Yeah, we must have just missed something, but fortunately we have.
The word sum.
I don't know where that is.
Et in Arcadia ego, sum. That's the missing word.
I am also even in Arcadia. Updated text. I am also even in Arcadia.
Wonder where that sum note was.
Unless it's something we're supposed to have done that we didn't know.
Well, if you
Okay.
didn't know, then you could have technically have been on a dead end. Because if you can't get it again. Is there a geometric thing going on here or something?
Temple, love,
Well,
grave,
isn't it? It
pungent,
is definitely
university.
an sounding like it's working. So, how do you know which one to choose?
Okay. Figure out the stanza correctly. First, choose.
And what if you went through every single one, you know?
Mark out. Tingo. Tomb, I touch God, Jesus.
Tomb, I touch.
Oh my god. I mean, oh my god.
Tomb, I touched the tomb of Jesus. So, would they find the burial site of Jesus? Is that what that's referencing? Well, I thought Poisson's tomb was maybe it. Boop.
Figure out what's up with the something. Unless we already had. I don't know. Do we already have a file? No, it doesn't look like it.
Still here, just lurking. We're still
Yeah.
here. We're just working. We're working through the puzzles of this
Yeah,
game.
That sucked. I'm kind of wondering if you had missed something, you pooched, or. just
Well, that's
missed
what I was
something.
saying. If you didn't get it on the tour, how are you going to go get it? Would have been something that you clicked on. I mean,
Touched-
I'm curious to see if, in looking in the walkthrough, if they show that part.
So he is there dead. Okay.
Well, the only
I think the windows of the ruined house and the presents are Blanchefort
unless
and
it's like-
Cardew. In other words, the site and its lookout. What's buried there?
Unless
I need
it's
to
go
solve
down
that
one
anagram to
more,
find
and
out.
maybe it says the entire phrase there.
Well, that's what I was wondering. That's why I encouraged you to go to he, because that's where I saw he is there.
That's what it sounds like.
Gabriel was the one who actually clicked on that, not Grace.
Because otherwise it seems like kind of a... Let's go and do that real quick.
Okay.
Because otherwise it's kind of like...
You're screwed. You couldn't possibly finish the game.
Well, he's back in the lobby.
I can never remember where these... No,
I
that's
think
the
it's in
Hermitage.
a bunch of trees. I think this might be it.
Okay, there it is.
And just click on the sign at the site. There it is right there.
This valley has been called the Dead Man on regional maps for centuries. Some authors have attempted to link it to the Ren Enigma because one of the parchment ciphers contains the phrase, "He is there dead." The parchment does talk about a dead man, but this location doesn't match any of the hidden geometry I've found so far.
Okay. So it's not him. Not here. So you wouldn't go use the phone thing, the tracking device. Okay. Well, I'm wondering where in the tour did you find this
Yeah,
can
that's
you look
something
in
I
there
missed.
real quick? Can I look there? I just wanted to. I know that's way back, so I want to see if you can try to find the find it in the text or something like that. If not, I'll go look on online.
Yeah, look on... Just be
Okay, hang on. And to do that, can you type in Gabriel Knight 3 walkthrough, just so we can get a walkthrough, and then we'll look and see if we can find
Look, click on the IMDb one.
IMDb or ING.
ING, I think. ING.
Okay, or IGN. You mean
IGN,
IGN?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so let's do a...
Watch
wait,
Madeline's
just
speech,
like this-
and
this
there's the
page is
word "some"
formatted,
in the sand. If you go to the UHS Universal Hint System, is there such a thing there? There's a live that'll give you hints. Cool. Instead of hold on, we've got somebody talking to us, Spencer. Instead of a walkthrough. Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, there is something we had missed. We're just going through like one of the sites.
Yeah,
but...
no worries. We missed that. But it does give you the hints. So yeah, when we were watching, Amelia wrote the word "some," and we saw that.
Yeah, but then you had to write it down, and if you missed it, you're kind of pooched.
And we didn't write it down. Is it still there on the ground?
Where was that?
It says, listen and watch Madeline's speech on Poisson's tomb.
Oh.
During the lecture, the note that Amelia writes is the word "some" in the sand.
Let's go see if it's still there. Yeah, it's things like this. I mean, that really
just an
makes it
easy
brutal.
thing. Hello, by the way. Thank you for the suggestion. And we're just now like, we know the word "some" was important because we looked it up, but because we didn't know what that that three-letter word was. I'm assuming you've played Gabriel Knight through. We have also. It's been a long time for Chad, and a while for me because I don't remember all this myself. But on the ground where we were standing, he wrote the word in the sand.
Ah, there it is.
Emilio wrote some.
And that's what we missed. Yes, I did, but
Some.
no, I'm sorry, it's
Well,
blocked.
he's
I
really
can't
into
see.
math
Just a
when he got
second.
interrupted.
Yeah.
It put you in therapy for 7 years. Yeah, it does that, doesn't it? And after the first one and the FMV one, I really liked Gabriel Knight too a lot.
There it is. Like I
Okay.
said, that's
That was something we missed.
easy to miss. Like,
And,
oh, did you not? Okay, so at
But
least we can go back.
We could go
but-
back. We did get it, and it's very popular among German streamers too. Yeah, I played Gabriel Knight too online on the stream 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago now. Because now this is going to make a lot more sense that you're going to have that 3-letter word that
Yeah.
they're looking for.
Oh, this one.
It's sum,
Huh.
Latin. Emilio wrote some.
Fate of Atlantis. You know, we haven't played that. It's on our to-do list, but we haven't played it yet. So I didn't get. I saw Indie, and I was like, it's a good one. Yeah, it's in the queue, definitely to play, and that'll be noobs for the very first time.
I am ego sum.
That makes a lot more sense now.
Okay, well, it is 3:13, so it's a save game.
Okay.
I think we have about one more.
We're one more stream. Next Sunday, we will be finishing Gabriel Knight 3.
At least that's the goal. So I mean, it's the 12 to. And it's 3 days. I remember we're starting to wrap up the stanza. Then I remember kind of getting to the big ending part. So
We've got the Serpent Rouge done,
no,
right?
no,
No.
we still have several parts.
Oh, okay. So we still have that one. Okay.
So we have Sagittarius,
Capricorn.
Capricorn.
That's the last page.
Okay.
Okay,
So we're on the very last page. Can we push it and do Sagittarius, or is it going to take too long?
This riddle is fascinating. Turning to the north. Okay, that must be north of the site. I see the red serpent, rigid and bitter. Must be talking about some kind of landmark feature. But the worst is yet to come. How many have pillaged the house, using the most sacred for purposes most foul? I turn north. Facing me, I see unwinding endless by its coils, the enormous red serpent mentioned in the documents, rigid and bitter. The huge unleashed beast at the foot of the White Mountain becomes scarlet with greed and drunk with stolen and profaned communion. Deliver me out of the mire. Turning to the north. Okay, that must be north of the site. I see
site
the
is in
red
the
serpent,
middle
rigid
of the
and
map.
bitter. Must be talking about some kind of landmark feature.
So let's look at the map itself and see. So the site is down there, right? It's right in the middle of the star, right? Like in the holies of holies in the center or whatever. This one called the site. Chateau.
Today's series.
Yep, it's the chateau. You can verify it with your thing, but that's north, and that's what's due north of Mount Cardot. And they've said several times the relationship between that mountain and that winery.
Today's series.
I wonder if Grace is going there again. And I wonder if it's got like some kind of like red serpent or something, like on the wine bottles or something. I don't know.
Okay.
So they're probably gonna put me in therapy. Actually, it's a really complex puzzle. I think my mod Slayer mentioned, he's German by the way, and he mentioned that it seems really complex. Making like a snake right into it. Got ya. So you gotta get the head of the snake. And that is what it does. It makes it like a serpent. It looks like a...
Yep, that's it. That's the red serpent.
Mm-hmm.
That is weird. It must point out something.
Well, it points... The tail is right at the chateau, the winery.
So let me see.
Oops.
This concludes Sagittarius. Now I'll have to watch it. Okay, actually this ends this.
Oh, so we never do Capricorn?
No, we're done. I mean, for this time period. So,
Well, then that's a good way to end.
I've only got one more stanza. Capricorn. I am aware of the scent of the perfume which impregnates the sepulchre of the one I must release. Cursing the profane in their ashes and those who follow their ways, I returned from the darkness while making a gesture of horror at the abyss into which I had plunged. Here is the proof that I knew the secret seal of Solomon and had visited the secret places of the queen who watches over the king. They must be talking about going down into the cave.
So there we
Take
go.
heed, my friend. Do not add or take away one iota. Think, and think again. The base lead of my words may contain the purest gold. Let he who has the understanding use it with wisdom.
Hello?
Hey, Mose, you're back.
Yep. Gabriel and I, we had it out.
You did?
Uh-huh. Guess my little secret is, out in the open now.
Is Gabriel here? I've had some real breakthroughs with Sydney.
Yeah, he wanted me to come get you. He's holding a meeting in the dining room.
A meeting? Well, this ought to be interesting.
All right, let's see a meeting.
I just want to leave any of your stuff there, you know.
Day 3, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Gabriel has a meeting. We got to go on. I got to know what this meeting is.
What's up?
Just a minute, Gracie. Why don't you take a seat? All right. Fun time's over. I want to know what's going on, and I want to know now.
I have no idea what you mean.
Nor I.
Then let me give you a clue. Earlier today, I had a certain unpublished manuscript in my room. Someone took that manuscript, and that someone was Mosley. Shortly afterwards, it was stolen from the first thief by Madeline Bouthane. The second thief couldn't hold on to it either. It was stolen for the third time by
Buccelli.
Vittorio Buccelli.
And the third thief disposed of it by
By burying it again?
burying it.
Really?
Yep.
But this is slanderous. You cannot prove a
You
word.
got fingerprints on it, buddy.
Yeah. He can prove it. Every one of you left prints.
Santacello.
I
Guess it's
admit
shit.
it. I did take the manuscript, but I didn't do it for my own personal gain or anything. I'm CIA.
I had a feeling.
Aha! That explains it.
Outrageous!
God, Mose. Congrats.
Thanks.
Okay, what?
Mademoiselle Bouthane, What's your excuse?
I do not know what you mean.
Don't you? Let's consider the fact that you have way too much equipment for a tour guide.
But I am technically minded.
And lethal. My guess is
French
French
Secret
Internal
Service.
Secret Service.
You are much too smart for your own good.
And Buccelli
Oh, and
is
you,
the Vatican
Signore?
Secret Service.
Or should I call you Father?
It is not illegal for a priest to travel without a collar.
Oh, but you're not just a priest, are you? You came on a train from Rome, yet you lied. You said it was Naples. Why tell such a pointless fabrication unless you were hiding something? Like the fact that you're with the Vatican.
That is not a crime either.
But stealing manuscripts is.
Perhaps it is time for you to reveal your secrets, Gabriel.
Sure. I'm a private investigator. I'm here about the kidnapping of Prince James of Albany's infant son.
James Stewart's son has been kidnapped?
Okay,
When did
Buccelli's
this
not involved.
happen?
You really didn't know? Either of you?
No.
Certamente no. I came only to report on any activity in the area. The Vatican feels that there are certain subversive parties who are trying to fabricate stories. Perhaps even go so far as to stage certain finds. Plant material. Naturally, the church is anxious that anything of the sort be prevented and exposed.
Perhaps you are right, Signore. But we believe that there is something buried near Rennes-le-Château.
That's why you were given this assignment?
I have been watching Rennes-le-Château for a few years now. There are certain political interests involved. Interests which might not be working for the long-term stability of the present French government. Besides, if there is an archaeological discovery to be made here, such findings should be controlled by the French authorities. We want to make sure nothing gets smuggled out without our knowing.
I thought you needed excavation permits to do any serious digging.
Hypothetically, but several parties have applied for permits. We can only deny them for so long.
Mose?
The CIA thinks there's something going on over here with the Freemasons, the Priory, and the Knights of Malta. You name it. We've got to make sure our interests are being protected. You know, the good old U.S. of A. Oh, they sent me on a tour as a kind of an audition, I guess. They didn't want anybody with legit CIA credentials. You know, anyone who could be traced. But I'll probably be starting full-time when I get back.
And the digging, monsieur?
Oh, intelligence got that tip from somewhere. I was just supposed to, check it out.
So it was the CIA who infiltrated our computer system. We thought it was the Priory. It is not the first theory we have had, I am afraid. Our cipher experts work on it when they can, and it appears this was another failed attempt. Right, monsieur?
I sure didn't find anything.
And now we can go, yes? I assume you have not found your kidnapper among us?
Doesn't look it.
So it's like I suspected.
You were very masterful, but you have not gotten everything from me yet. Perhaps you should come by my room and try a little
I
harder.
was like, why does this ever happen to me? I'm wearing a pink shirt.
And I always thought the idea of chastity belts was cruel and sexist. I finally get it.
I doubt they invented one strong enough for Madeline. Thanks for finding the manuscript. Where was it?
Bukele buried it out in the valley. I saw his moped from Blanchford.
Good job, Grace. As usual.
Prince James is at the Villa Bethania. He wants to see you.
I bet.
And there's some real progress on the treasure. With Sydney, I was able to...
I'll, come up later, okay?
Suit yourself.
The thing about it is that we would want to talk out here right now anyway. I mean, this is a wide open area. Probably their bedroom would be more private for talking about
Tables in a dining room. Lordy, imagine that.
This. All right, Sir Chad of Wonderful Puzzle Solving. Go ahead and save it, and let's go on. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah, so I said, okay. 3 p.m. to 6
3
p.m.
to 6 p.m.
Okay,
With
so
about
late
200
afternoon.
and some points left.
Yeah.
So we are, we believe we will finish the game We might really. Oh my God, that smile just now. You mean the Tim Curry smile? I was trying to figure out which one that you were talking about. But probably the Tim Curry smile, because they did put that on the face of the of Gabriel Knight, and he is who's voicing Gabriel Knight is that it gets that Cheshire smile that is often found. Yeah, when she told him to come to her room. He already has been with the dark-haired woman. I don't think he ought to encourage that right in front of her. It probably wouldn't work well. That did not look good. And that's possible too, because he really doesn't want any commitments with. He thinks of her as a sister, which is awkward that he slept with her if he thought of her as a sister. I don't think that's what sisters and brothers engage in. My guess is not. He is, however, from Louisiana, so the jury is out. But I feel like we made some really good progress, so high five. And we made it through that really hard puzzle, which was the Serpent Rouge. We, of course, did have to get some guidance and walkthroughs. So some of it is like, how would you even know that, you know? But we did miss a crucial point, a crucial clue on the ground.
Yeah. Or we could go back.
We saw it, but it didn't click. We looked at it, what he was doing on the ground, but she never wrote it down because we just didn't think it was important, and it was. That's my problem with some of these games. It shouldn't be that cryptic. It definitely has, I'm trying to think what I want to say. It has a place. The story is compelling. If you look beyond the graphics and you look at the content of the story, Slayer, and you were into things like the Knights of the Templar and the Priory of Sion, the Da Vinci Code stuff, if you were interested in that, this would be a compelling game to play, for sure. Plus, I happen to like the character of Gabriel Knight. He's wicked fun and doesn't always say the right thing or do the right thing. And we've gotten to go to different locations that we might not be able to go to in Space Quest. You're going to space, space and some planet, but here you're going to France, and the last one you were going to Germany, and the one before that you went to Louisiana and Africa and Germany. So, I mean, that was one of the beauties of this. Oh yeah, the story seems great. I just don't like it games make puzzles so obtuse that the players need a guide to progress.
Yeah.
That would have been a problem. Go ahead and speak to that.
Yeah, each of the Gabriel Knight games have at least one just ridiculous puzzle. I think for this one, there seem to be a lot of cases where you can miss something and you'll still be able to progress at least. Mm-hmm. So at least you're not a dead man walking, but you may not just get the full story. Which, first time I played this, and now I'm going through it, and there's things I'm still, even with a walkthrough, I'm still occasionally missing things if I'm not reading through everything, because I'm only using it more if I'm getting stuck.
And if you saw what the other chatter wrote, he said he needed 7 years of therapy. So I'm guessing it's about 7 years since he played it. He needed 7 years of therapy to survive after that red serpent puzzle, because it just definitely... It's busy. It's a lot of busy work. And actually there is where you find out about the red serpent.
Yep.
It's right after you see him write something in the sand.
They mentioned the red serpent.
Yeah. And then, of course, they find the bodies. And then throwing in this thing, the vampires are still very, very important to the story. And
yeah.
We will come back to that.
It does come down to like a mystery that you have all these kind of, who are all these various people? Why are they acting kind of weird? I mean, but then, kind of slight spoiler, I remember first playing this, and then you get to kind of the end, like, oh, by the way, ta-da, here's the bad guys.
Well,
like, wait, what have we been doing with everybody else? But there are some things like Mosley has been acting kind of weird, and now you finally know why now.
Well, Mosley's been there like every time you found something worthy of talking about. He's barged into the room and made himself at home, and you're like, Mosley, what are you doing here? But then in the backdrop of all this, there are 3 dead people with their necks sliced and drained of all their blood. Your Gabriel Knight is psychic, so he's been having dreams, and in his dreams, he's had dreams about unicorns, and he had dreams about vampires coming in and actually taking Grace. So, I mean, I hope it's all kind of blending together. It's a good story, in my opinion. We're going to finish it next week. I really have a good feeling about that. We're probably just going to get right in when we get back and say, hey, hi, here we go, boom. And now we're going to finish the end of the game.
I imagine there's probably about maybe 3 more sections or something.
We have to, I don't know how much more time. Right now we're the 3 to 6 o'clock.
2, 3, late evening.
6 o'clock to
Okay, yeah, it looks
9,
like
and
big
then 9 to
finale.
midnight.
Wow, the big finale
Is
quite a bit.
yeah, so it's going to definitely take us some time to get to the big finale, because we don't know who these vampires are. I have my guess. It's Count McCreepy. The fact that it's all centering up there at the top of the map with the winery, and Count McCreepy is the count of the winery.
Yeah, I think I remember something else, like you do have to go back. Otherwise, why would they bother with that area if there wasn't something more to it? But
And my concern is, why isn't Gabriel Knight going upstairs to talk to Grace to find out more about the Red Serpent?
you really probably should. He's like, oh, I found all this. Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of dismissive, and he keeps saying, like, whatever, we'll talk about that later, but it's part of the mystery, and it may help him find the baby. Because once again, this is a special child. This is a child who's a direct bloodline, and some believe the direct bloodline of Jesus Christ, which means his blood is pure and powerful, and that is what the vampires want. So, but his father would be even more pure. Because, or the grandfather, if there was a grandfather involved. So anyway, we'll see. That's kind of my summary. It's where I'm headed. And I could be wrong. It's been 20 some years since Chad played it. I still think it was 2013. And I don't remember hardly any of this.
Did you play through the entire game?
I'm pretty sure I did.
Unless you got stuck in...
And that's the other thing. Go back to what Slayer said. If the game makes the puzzle so damn obtuse and hard, and you didn't have a walkthrough to help you along, and think about 1999, first playing the game, and not having a walkthrough, so you probably called up the 1-900-SIERRA hint line.
Or you buy the guides, or...
Even the guides is going to go so far, though,
There was
right?
the internet. I mean, otherwise, back in the 80s... Yeah, these things.
Yep.
Yeah, you went and spent $8 to go get the hint book.
Would you have gotten a hint book that would have given you the Serpent Rouge?
I think if there was a guide, it was probably a Prima guide or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not really
Probably.
quite sure if what is in here.
Because... there
Oh,
wasn't a
yeah,
guide.
something like that.
So this was a Prima guide for Quest for Glory 5.
When did Quest for Glory 5 come out?
1998. And so I'm thinking that Sierra stopped making hint books by that time, so
Yeah.
versus something like that. So.
The only thing this does is tell you how to use the Sydney, and it really doesn't give you any kind of advice on how to use. There is like the Sydney walkthrough, and you do start to see like the first sections of the Serpent Rouge. So you know you need to go ahead and click. It says hit the start analysis button, completing the first verse of the Serpent Rouge. Good luck on the rest of the puzzle. So basically, figure it out yourself.
Yeah.
You're the adventurer. So hopefully you're smart enough to figure out that these geometric shapes mean something to the game. Oh yeah, I turned it wrong. Mean something to the game, and figure it out yourself. or call the 1-900 number and
There
get
is
a hint.
there is a hint system actually in this game, so.
That's the other thing. We've not been using that, but there is a hint system right there.
Well,
But
okay,
it's not
apparently-
really working. And the gentleman that was just in here, he's now gone. But he did say that there's an online gaming hint system you can use as well.
Yeah, the UHS, UFS, whatever
Yeah,
it is.
I've never.
Yeah, I've seen them
I
before, so it's
wouldn't.
kind of almost more like those hint books where that sometimes they would give you gradual hints before they would say, okay, here's what to do. So sometimes they would just like, okay, here's my question, and then it would kind of try to subtly give you like, have you thought of this? Have you done this? Until it finally gives you the full answer. The thing that's kind of funny about the old Sierra hint books is that sometimes there's gag questions. Let's see if I can get one.
Oh, yeah?
Or there's just ones that are silly and stuff like that. Like, where does Sir Graham put all that stuff he's carrying? And it's like the same place Superman puts his street clothes. Let me see. Okay, now that I'm riding on the alligator's back, how do I make him fly?
That's not even real, is it?
No, it's a gag one. So see how many like fake, answers there are and stuff like that. So it's like by the final one, it's like this is a joke. This
But
is
how
not
do you
real.
reveal the yellow?
So the old ones, you had a yellow marker, a highlighter. So
I don't know if you
yeah,
can
that-
see it. There you go.
okay, yeah. So you
Yeah.
can see that it's yellow, but these are so old they can't really read it.
Yeah.
Fortunately, some people have scanned some of these online, and so they showed like what it does say. Fortunately, the newer ones you can read a lot easier. That you have like a little red decoder, like a piece of cellophane
Uh-huh.
you could use to be able to read it, or
Oh, okay.
or they would just have the questions and actually give you the hints and stuff.
I
But-
got you. Because that would be a problem. You could easily get stuck in a nowhere and get frustrated and need the 7 years of therapy, or frustrated and just say, I can't finish
Yeah,
this game.
here's another gag. I'm wearing the woodcutter's clothes, but what do I do next? You can't.
You don't wear the
And
woodcutter's
I swear
clothes.
there was something about like I used the pump in front of the woodcutter's house and I drowned or something like
That's
that.
not
Or how do
possible.
I get
It
that?
didn't.
No,
I
you
mean,
can't.
It
so-
wasn't even functional.
No.
So anyway, all right. So we believe, hopefully, that we will finish Gabriel Knight, and we will finish it next week. So we're gonna go ahead. We saved.
Yep.
So we're gonna
Well,
go ahead.
we'll probably watch that scene again, but. Or no, wait, I saved right at the beginning. I called it early evening, which is not
Okay,
right.
so we're good to quit.
Yeah.
Okay.